Hey guys, today we're going to draw cats in 3 different positions. Let's get started. Our first cat's going to start with this kind of elongated dome shape, and you'll notice the beginning and the end of the dome kind of bend in towards the center a little bit. Now we're going to add a guideline, and we're going to kind of divide our cat in half vertically, and then we're going to add 3 horizontal guidelines that divide our cat into thirds. These are just rough estimates. Don't worry about it. It's not perfect. You're just sort of eyeballing it. All right, let's add some ears. And then we'll start with his face. At the first intersection of guidelines, we'll go ahead and draw his nose, just kind of a misshapen circle. And then directly on top of his nose, we'll draw his eyes. So another circle-ish. And the second eye. And now we can play a little bit with our cat's personality by where we put the pupils. So you can have the pupils right in the center, so he looks like he's looking at us. Or maybe you don't want those in the center, you want him looking up, so we'll put him at the top. Or maybe we don't want him looking up. Instead, we're going to put him in the middle, so he's kind of a cute little cross-eyed cat. A little confused. You see it looks really different, and you can really play with what kind of a cat you're drawing by where you put these pupils. Let's go ahead and put them back in the middle here. And now coming out of the nose, we're going to go ahead and draw his mouth. Just a line along that guideline. And you can leave it like that. I usually do, but maybe you don't want to. Maybe you want to add a little line at the bottom like this, or a little smile, or a kind of a sideways smile, or maybe an upside down V. Again, just like with his pupils, you see the cat's look changes drastically with each choice you make. All right, let's pop down to the bottom third, and we're going to go ahead and draw his front legs. And that is done with 2 lines on either side of our center guideline. And you'll notice the bottom of my lines are bending slightly out. Let's go ahead and draw a paw. Now you can see that where they bent out, that formed kind of the top of a foot. And then his paws form the front of his foot. All right, now we're going to draw his hind paws on either side of those front paws. Here. And then let's go ahead and we're just going to grab my eraser and erase my messy overhang here and here. Okay, and now we're going to draw the details of his paws, which on a front-facing cat, I usually do 3 lines for each paw. The first one's this kind of curved line like that. Curve, straight, curve. And we'll add that to each paw. Okay, we'll draw some whiskers. And finally, we're going to do his tail. And again, a tail is a fun place to add a little bit more personality to your cat. So I'm going to draw just kind of a standard issue tail. But maybe you would like something a little more exciting. So maybe we do a kind of a crooked tail like this. And that's like a whole different feel to our cat. Or maybe most of the tail's behind him and only the top is showing. I think on my cat here, I'm just going to go ahead and do the standard issue tail for no reason except that I think he looks pretty darn cute. And there he is. I'm going to get rid of the guidelines, and there's our first cat. Yay! All right, let's go on to the second cat. He starts the same way. He's a 45-degree angle, but he's still going to start with this elongated dome. And we're going to draw a guideline again, a vertical guideline, but instead of in the center, we're going to put it off to the side a little bit. And then we're going to draw the same thirds. Again, don't get hung up on this. It's okay if they're not exactly thirds. You can just play with it. All right, let's add his ears. And then just like in the first cat, we'll come down and draw his nose. And on top of his nose, his eyes. We'll start with the right eye because that's the eye that's closest to us. And then the left eye will look like it's a little behind it, which is kind of showing the direction that he's facing. Again, we can play with his pupils. So if we draw them looking behind him, he looks like he's kind of, furtively checking behind him for what's over there. maybe no pupils. Maybe we're going to give him happy closed eyes like this. All right, or I'm going to just draw some forward-looking eyes, the direction he's pointing. And let's go ahead and draw his mouth coming out of his nose. And for me, I'm just going to stick with this line like I often draw my cats. Drop down to the bottom third and do his front legs. Same way that we did in the first cat. Draw his paws. But his hind legs are going to be a little bit different because he's at a 45-degree angle. So we're going to show more of his leg by doing this kind of C shape back here. And then coming out from the bottom, we're going to go ahead and draw that paw and connect it to the back. And then we're going to draw his other hind leg, but it's mostly hidden because of the way that the cat is facing. So we're just going to draw a little paw coming out the left side like this, and just a little bit of his leg on top of that. Okay, now we can go ahead and add some paw details. On these hind feet, we're going to just do 2 lines because some of the paw is not facing us, so we're only going to show 2 of the lines. We'll add some whiskers up here. Oh, those are a little long, aren't they? Let's shorten these up a little bit. Okay, and then again, we can play with his tails. So maybe we want a little bit of a crazy tail. That has its own look. Maybe we'll draw it laying in front of him on the floor like this. Oops. We'll fix that little mistake. Here we go. I think I'll draw one that kind of frames him a little bit, like this. All right, and that's cat number 2. Let's get rid of these guidelines. You can take a look at what he looks like. Yay, 2 cats down, 1 to go. Let's move on to the third cat. It's going to start with its guideline, but there's only 1 guideline for the whole cat, and that's the bottom. So we're going to do 1 horizontal one. Now we're going to draw his head, which is a dome again, but much, much smaller. And we'll go ahead and fill in the bottom on this one. We'll add his ears. And we'll go ahead and add his face, starting with the nose again, and the mouth. And then we'll draw sleepy eyes, which are just kind of U-shaped eyes, like that. Now we'll draw his front paws, and he's sleeping, so they're just going to be kind of on the floor on either side of his head. So one here, and one slightly overlapping his face like this, which means that I again need to grab my eraser and get rid of this kind of messy head bit that's in his paw. There we go. Okay, good. And then that left paw, his right paw, is kind of flung out a little bit from his head. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the top of the leg right there, like his shoulder, I guess. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and draw the paw details, same as we did before. And now we'll draw his body, which is the same shape as his head, but just much bigger, like this. And we'll draw his hind legs, same as we did on the last cat. And then from the bottom of our C shape, we'll go ahead and draw his paw. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to draw his tail, and it can, let's say it goes straight out in back of him and kind of just, curls up like this. That's pretty cute, yeah? Or maybe let's make it curl around the front of him like we did on our second cat. I think we did that on the second cat. Can't remember which cat we did this on, but I kind of like it here. Looks like he's very grounded and relaxed and sleeping on the floor, and that is the third cat. So yay, now you've drawn all 3 cats in all 3 positions. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I really liked making it. If you have a suggestion for future draw-alongs, don't hesitate to make it in the comments section. And, don't forget to subscribe. I'll be doing a lot more tutorials in the future. Thanks. Bye.